So yun nga po, no? I will teach you how to do CPR or uh, cardiopulmonary resuscitation. First, we need to identify or assess the dangers that the victim have experienced. So as you can see, I have here a sample subject, which is my brother and my family as well, to watch, and I will teach them how to CPR. First, as I said, assess the danger and what is happened. For example, the subject have drowned on a certain place, or for example in a pool or in sea. We need to know what have happened, so that we could avoid some mistakes in doing CPR. One another thing is that we need to identify if our victim is conscious or unconscious, or we could also think if we could also assess if the victim is alive by identifying or checking his pulse. For example, is above near his head or throat. Or you could also check the victim's pulse here, if his heart is beating. And another step is that after assessing the danger and the victim's status, we also need to check the responsiveness of the victim. So we will check if he will respond to the things that we will ask, and also we will introduce ourselves so that we could avoid doubt on the steps that we are making in CPR. For example, we need to introduce ourselves first. So I'm J. Vicente, and I'm doing CPR or cardiopulmonary resuscitation, sir. You will check the responsiveness of the victim by waking him up or slapping his face like this.
And saying, gising na, gising na.
Yes. If the victim is not responsive, just try to talk to him so that he could, even though he is unconscious, he can still hear the voice of the one who is conducting CPR. So the third step is that we need to send for help. We need to call
911
emergency, so that we could resurrect, or we could save the life of this young one. The third step is and the fourth step is to check the airways. To check the airways, we need to lift the head or tilt the head up and check his airway here.
Hindi na ma-airless yung mouth mo, Iman.
So after you check the airway, you can identify if the airway is blocked already. And after checking the airway and giving space to the victim to breathe, and prevent the blocking of air on this airway, you need to check the breathing of the victim as well.
Sipsipin mo na sipon.
In checking the breathing of the victim, we need to feel the air that release or the exhale of the victim, so that we can identify if he's still breathing.
Oh, ang boring.
So after that, we will do the CPR. The CPR or cardiopulmonary resuscitation. In cardiopulmonary resuscitation, we need to remove the shirt so that we could identify the parts of the victim, and as well remove the hindrance in doing the CPR, because it could we could do the penetrating of our pumping in CPR will be more effective this way. So in doing CPR, we need to
Isipin mo na.
locate the proper place for doing CPR or where we penetrate the pumping. And to identify that, we need to uh, Ben, we need to go through or from the nipples of the victim. We will connect it to the center of the measurement so that we could identify the center where we will conduct the CPR.
Kunin mo yung kamay mo. Pabaw. Yan.
So here it is. So it is in line with the nipples of the victim, and then we will put our hands here and the other hands on the upper part of our hands, and our shoulder should be straight. Shoulder and our arms should be straight, and we will do some compressions. 30 compressions for 18 seconds. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 30.
O, lumabas na yung tubig
So
sa bibig.
after that, we will now check.
Buhay pa, sir.
We will now give 2 rescue breaths to the victim.
Kuya, nabuhay ka na.
Patay yan eh.
After that,
Okay.
after giving the 2 rescue breaths, we will now check if the victim is now responsive to your if the is already conscious, and if the victim is not still conscious, we will continue the 30 compressions for 18 seconds and then give another 2 rescue breaths, and we will do this continuously or simultaneously until the victim revived. If the victim is not revived.
Then we have to call 9.
So that's all for CPR training or CPR lessons for today. Goodbye guys.
Ano naman itong palabas na